Well, hopefully it works, because if it doesn't, there's not much I can do about it at this point. We have reached a point where it's pretty much becoming impossible for me to record things like this. So, yeah, I don't know what much more. There's one more thing I want to do, but I don't know that we'll be seeing EDuke32 around anymore on this channel. I mean, I'm already not going to play through Iron Maiden anyway, which I can't even really capture it now, but I already wasn't going to play through that because fucking devs are just dickheads, so, you know, like, fuck themselves. You don't understand your audience, you fucking bunch of retards, but yeah, here we go. Fucking alien abductees. I've been recording levels I made for EDuke32. This is the next one in the fucking list. Only one more after this. I took a different approach with this map. It's combat heavy, very linear, and I did that because I knew what I was going to do in the next map, and, you know, I figured I better make up for it in advance.
Let's rock.
So let's start the fucking thing. I don't need to start that. So if you remember at the end of Nitroglycerin, we got kidnapped by aliens. The input latency is fucking ridiculous. It's like half a second. I'm gonna get shot to shit. That's insane. That's like gaming on an LCD or something. Only without the crappy image quality. So yeah, we're trapped. We're not getting out of here. I mean, we do have a pistol. They obviously aren't bothered about us having so much to play with, you know. Shoot the vents. And this ship's not in good shape. I mean, they crashed the damn thing. It's not going to work well now. I heard something. I'm gonna break the machine. Yeah, the alien's getting pissed. They're like, hey, stop that. You're pissing us off. Yeah. Duke isn't the best behaved prisoner. That's how to break out of prison. Annoying the guards. I used to have a view screen here. I removed it. I don't remember why. That would be a waste of ammo. Let's not do it. None of these. Oh no, there's only one way out. And that's this way. So, yeah, I mean, it's not like we can just jump back off the ship and get back down to Earth. We're in trouble here. Excuse me, there we go. Duke, this message will be very short as you're about to leave the range of our farthest satellites. You must cripple the engines of that ship and find a way back to Earth as soon as possible. We have a serious problem over here. Your shade should be able to translate some of the alien language. You may have to steal another ship, even without destroying the engines. This one won't make it back. And that is the last fucking thing we will get from the EDF. We're on our own on this one. Now let me tell you, one of the shittest fucking things about fucking this Duke Nukem 3D's game logic is sliding fucking doors. If you ever try to make a level and you wonder why people make Doom doors all the time, it's because Doom doors are easy and they're reliable, mostly. Somewhat. And sliding doors just aren't. They do all kinds of stupid things. They can only run at these like specific angles. And they don't work with door auto close, which actually can be useful sometimes. Yeah, they're just a bitch. You can make them auto close, but you'd have to build such a big complex mechanism, and I did try it with these. I got rid of it because I ran out of walls, and even then it wasn't reliable, so I just, no. And it's not intended behaviours, so it's never going to be reliable. My turbo elevators. Oh, look at this. It's a thing that doesn't work in current EDuke builds, but works in a DOS version. Apparently it's never used and I'm just relying on the broken fucking way things worked. Problem with that statement is the original game fucking uses it in Pigsty, you fucking moron. Who left these people in charge of this port? Seriously, there's nothing on this one, is there? Yeah, I can't really even map for this game anymore. I mean, I'm done with it anyway, but even if I wanted to, it would be a waste of my time, because current versions of the port are just too fucking broken. And what I want to know is there's all these bugs that I fucking run into, and some of them are over 6 years old. They still had nothing done. You've got projects with like 20 fucking people on or something, and they're supposed to be the best of the best in the community, and they never run into these. So they're obviously not the best of the best, because they're fucking slacking. They're not doing anything that complicated with the game, because they don't run into these things. Just build shit like it's 1996. Make it look a bit fancy. You'd probably make it look better than I can. I can't do the visuals that well. Try pushing the boundaries every once in a while, you know? Now this is going to be the problem, because I took a lot of fucking damage. And if I die, I will just God mode, I tell you that now. I am not going to fucking sit here restarting all night. I built the map, I know it can be played without dying, but I have about half a second of latency between when I press a button and when the button actually does something in the game. Because of the way things have to be recorded here, it's not fucking good. And there's nothing I can do about it. Might as well take both of them. The advantages of having designed the map, I suppose, is I don't know where things are. You got a glimpse of the interval that system runs on there. So you actually have CCTV access here. Not so much, but this is where we've got to go. You can see where them rods go down to. Is that room down there. Fucking latency. That won't waste any. I believe there's a thing here. But yeah, those are going to fuck off down the hole to that room that's down below. Obviously they don't really, the engine doesn't work that way. Quite similar to how these are really elevators. There is actually an elevator in them, but it only travels from about the height of this room lower than the floor to that floor height there. That's all it does. And yet somehow that takes us to an identical elevator. And the elevators don't line up. When you actually think of the physics of this ship, they don't add up at all. And they're not meant to, because it's alien technology. Do you really think aliens that can travel across galaxies within, like, minutes would have that much, like, regard for the laws of physics? Because I don't. It's sci-fi. You can have whatever technology you want. There's a satellite. It's not ours, though. I think that might be, yeah, now we're in trouble. Now we're in real trouble. Well... yeah. There's nothing on this one. I don't think. The yellow one. Yeah. These fuel rods, they're yeah, this ship's beat. Oh, this thing's been around since like the 50s or something, huh? Yeah, man, we don't know if the aliens have time travel. It might be all.
Hail to the king, baby.
things are going to get loud. Brace yourself. And they're going to get a bit chaotic, so it's not what I need with this kind of input lag, but I'm sure we'll manage. Still in some of all details. You must really like them. See, if you do want to try building levels for this game, it's a thing I can tell you. Never really going to use that, but be a smarty, join your local Nazi party. Ah, the fucking alarms! Damn. Don't go back up. Yeah, frame rate's going to take a bit of a dive in places here. He's got himself stuck somehow. My dodgy windows. Oh, the alarm, stop. It's hurting my head. Right, once we go on that central elevator, there's nowhere back. You might notice we actually get pushed off the middle of the elevator. You can't actually stand in the centre. It'll always push you over. Where is that bastard? There he is. Obviously this defies the game logic, and in fact it breaks the game logic at the top. See, if we look down you might see... I think I managed to cover it quite well, but you see that little bug in the floor? The floor lowers slightly before it raises. I don't really know why, I never solved it. I assume it's related to the extreme Z coordinates that things are placed at here. That is less health than I really need, and I need to hurry up. See, we're on the bridge, but... oh man, they're not going to give the ship up without a fight. Really not going to give it up without a fight. Oh shit. Yeah, something tells me that we ain't going home anytime soon. This don't look like Earth. This looks like some shithole planet. Oh man. This took a fair bit of mathematics to get this to work because of the way sprites... You have to set, like, certain things at the height the sectors will be at, and other things at the height they start at. Because of the way that effect works. I think Bob Averill did something like that in one of his maps. You've probably seen a few times, like, where probably has been a bit of an inspiration for the things I've made. This room, like, I was really pleased with the way this turned out. I don't, like, you know, blow my own horn or anything, but I was quite pleased with the way that turned out. Usually I don't do ceilings. Ceilings usually look bad when I do. That's weird. Why has that happened? That's... Oh, the sectors are just broken up here, aren't they? Look. They had a lot of problems with this room. Don't know why that's going on. I have not seen it do that before. I told you my levels break the engine, like... But yeah, what I was on about before, where I was like, if you want to get into mapping, for this game. Basically, you can make things look a bit better quite easily if you have more than one texture on a wall. You use up more walls because when you use the over tile function, like, you know, you have two textures on, like, one for the upper wall, ceiling wall, and one for the floor wall, we'll call it. It acts as more walls, and as it's a red wall, then it's 4 walls because you have 1, 2, and then on the other side 3 and 4, even though they're not being drawn. So yeah.
Holy shit.
There's not too much try and kill us in this room, but not a very nice place. A lot of weird things happened when building this level, and this is one of the areas they happened in. Because for some reason, when I was like testing, I'd test in this room, and the kill counter would go, like enemies would apparently come into existence and die. And I don't know how that happened or why, just the game being weird. That's the way we want to go. Yeah, you can see the sort of things these aliens are doing. Not very nice. Not nice at all. Horrible. Ugly. They have pulled the legs off of that person. That poor, poor person. That's the Confederate States of America. Oh, get in trouble for that these days, probably putting that flag on something, man. And that's why I put it there. People who don't understand history get very annoyed. Open up! Just open the fucking door! Open it! Well, that maybe wasn't the best decision we ever made. Is he in here? I must have died already. Else he went through there. Oh jeez, that's going to set the pipes off. And this is one of the oldest areas of the level, and it actually used to be, you know, the engine where we moved the fuel rods used to be in this area. It wasn't part of the ship, and it used to be up a stairway there. Well, there was an elevator. Well, there was a room there with elevators, and it changed a lot, basically. I mean, there were meant to be like 2 or 3 other maps, but they just wouldn't stand up on their own. The ship in this area would have been their own fucking levels. But yeah, ugly, ugly place. Aliens don't really... They're quite utilitarian. Oh shit, didn't kill it. Well, it did now. Physics-defying ship. It got us here, but it ain't getting us back. We gotta find another way off this planet. So, no more ships. We're reduced to taking the train now. If we're gonna get killed, this is probably where it's gonna happen. Fucking screen. You know, you can put those on the floor, you can flip them, you can do all kinds of things. But you won't be able to do it because current builds of the fucking port. Oh, that frame rate. That's not pretty. That ain't party. I'd recommend using the pistol here. Most troops aren't that hard to take down. fucking tunnels. These ones must have faster jetpacks than the regulars. There is another portable medkit in the level, so feel free to use that if you get beat up on. Journey's probably almost over at this point. But if you miss all of those, you're not going to get 100%. It is possible that they might bug into this area. One of them just went off the end of the conveyor belt by the looks of things. This machine can barely play this anymore. Good frame rate. There are a substantial amount of systems running in this level, but not so much computing related as usual for my maps. That screen, it never worked, but it gets the CCTV. So you can see some of the areas that the aliens have. Not that different to us, really, are they? Train stations and stuff. This train station I was quite pleased with, but for some reason it always makes me think of Russia. I don't know why. I finished building it and I'm like, it just comes off as a bit Russian for some reason. You know, Russia strikes me as a country that probably has a lot of train stations. I mean, it's a big country, so you know, it figures that a lot of people might want to travel over great distances. Trains are probably a good way of doing it, but I don't know, feel free to correct me. I'm pretty certain I do have Russians that watch this channel, so... Yeah, they have obnoxious advertising, just like on Earth. These aliens. These fucking walls that got used up by doing this. I ran out of walls on this level. Yeah, well. So here is the alien homeworld. You don't get to see much of it, but we get to see some of it at least. Of course, the numbers of aliens on here probably isn't going to be good once they figure out where we've gone. And as we saw on the CCTV, they put notices out. A drill effect. It's an unused effect that's in the game. There's that other medkit. So you can always use it if you need it. We'll remember it's there and we probably will need it later. Building. Lots and lots of tweaking to get that building down. If we can use these efficiently, we can get a bit of a secret here before we go anywhere else. Yeah, their architecture is ugly and it is imposing. Very imposing. A secret place. Well, there we go. And a secret place.
Come get some.
That'll come in handy. Used to be able to go up there. It used to overhang the other sectors a lot more, but just wasn't working out and seemed like a waste of walls for somewhere that had no purpose. So it got ditched. It's fucking bridges. So things like that, that's why I don't map for Polymerst, because to do things like that I have to use more resources for Polymerst than Polymer and Classic. And I don't really map for Classic, but I at least try to make it mostly work. Polymerst I just gave up on in the end. Like, no, this is a broken renderer. I can't be bothered with it. And our key goes in there. I guess we'll try that in a minute, but... And this looks fairly industrial. bit ugly. Gonna have some draw issues with things around here, I think. But lots of things in the distance, man. It's worth the shot just to see. Yeah, yeah. This is a bit of a complex here. We've got a ship. Bit ugly. It's probably for moving cargo around between outposts or something. It needs a key and that will not move. And that won't do shit. You know, there's actually a view screen here, and something to do with that taught me something very important, that teleporter values are relative. So if you can enter a screen at the same time as using a teleporter, you will end up in completely the wrong place, because the values will be relative to the current position, which will be where the camera is on the other end of the view screen and not where you're actually standing looking into the view screen. In this case, it does teleport us, but it teleports us somewhere way off in that direction into void space, and you just get killed, obviously, because that's the way the game handles a player entering, you know, null space. It's not very good. But as the values are relative, you could calculate the values. You could use it to get like a really, really super secret area in a level, and I'd love to see somebody do it. You know, there's no reason you couldn't use a teleporter that is off the floor, so it only activates when the player's at a certain height. So you would have to jump over it to use the screen. As you use the screen, you fall, and it activates the teleporter and sends you to a different area that you've mapped in an area you know it will send the player to if that occurs. That's relying on like a broken behaviour, but they probably won't ever patch that one. All they do is patch things that break things that used to work before. You know, now view screens pretty much don't work at all. You know, they messed with them visually. The duck thing doesn't work anymore. They mess about with the collision codes so you can't even walk down the fucking stairs. But hey, you know, I'm just making it up. And I'm sure it doesn't affect me as somebody who bought the game, or at least that was the verdict for Iron Fury, so it's kind of like that music that's playing. I mean, music has no impact on a game. It doesn't really affect the experience at all, so who cares what music that I chose for this? I would have liked to have done a bit more with this music, but... Oh shit. I only designed this level, I'm forgetting how it worked. Now if I had more walls left, I could have made these going through the machine a little bit more efficient, but, you know, a little bit prettier. But wasn't possible. Fuel's going in. But that's not enough. We need 4 of them. Also, we might have a problem in a minute. I mean, they seem to know where we are. They know we're trying to hijack their spaceship, so... They're not going to be happy with us. See, you can actually use the bat commanders, but I'm weary. Yeah, this isn't going to go unnoticed, and you might be able to see something going on in the distance there. Yeah, now we're in trouble. We got company. Now you can't stand still out here because you will get missiled in the fucking arse. That's not too bad, we can deal with that, but... Oh, will you cut me some slack? Leave me alone. See now, you might be able to be clever and save ammunition here. I mean, that ship doesn't really seem to care who it kills. Odds are, it doesn't belong to these aliens, and it belongs to someone else. Oh shit. If you miss that, back off. And get away from the hull when you come in as well. Because missiles can get in there. It won't target you when you're in here. Technically, it's targeting you all the time the game's running, but it goes into a parallax sky, so it never impacts. Something to that effect actually lined up by pure luck before. Like, this is the area we saw on the CCTV. That's the key we need. But I mean, it's not going to do us any good now, because the ship has no fuel, so we'll worry about finding it later. It's going to take a while for that to get to the other side. That canister's going to go in and fill itself with fuel. You know what? I think they're mad. Oh god, I knew they were coming. There they are. These bastards. Hate them. Really hate them. Nobody likes new beasts. We got fat commanders, we got everything trying to kill us now. And the thing is, the aliens are going to get more and more desperate because they're going to know that their ship's filling with fuel. And once it's fueled up, and if I find a way to get that blue key, I'm off the planet, and their chance to stop me, they're not going to catch Duke Nukem. Oh yeah, I can't do that. I've got to deliver that kind of stuff. I can only carry one at a time. They're very heavy. I wanted to have just one canister, but I didn't think people would understand the, you know, to go back and try it again. You know, it's kind of like the canisters are heavy, you can only move one back and forth between the two locations. So you're going to have to wait for the gauge to go up and then tack it off, and the path is still in the ship. But in the end I've just now, we'll have to have four and just have them be inserted in the ship. Now, you didn't do this right, because really what you want to do is lure these drones to be around them. When you blow the drones up, obviously the monsters take damage. That's getting pretty intense over there. Oh! Ah! Something tells me... Oh shit. I didn't pick the steroids up, did I? It's gotten rather chaotic here, hasn't it? Just a tad. Yeah. Problem is, we still got to put that key. Ship's filled up. Oh, a bit of corruption. Plant pot, that must have been the last thing to... Run like fuck. Oh! Right up the arse. And they were waiting for us, man. Shouldn't need that too much. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's use some of these. I know that portable bankage still back there. Just take a bit of a long route. Jeez, man. That's dangerous. But yeah, by pure luck, as you walk up here, the ship ends up lining its shots up with the parallax sky. So that noise will stop. Uh-oh. Oh shit! Use the medkit. It's dying out. Now we had some major problems here with monsters going out of bounds, so we might be able to heal one, never hit him, and he'll just reappear out of nowhere at some stage. Happens. Push the game a little bit hard. I mean, this place don't look too bad. I would be quite happy in this train station, you know. Shit, tables a bit grotty, but they always are. Oh, somebody broke the vending machine. The bastards. Save that.
Come get some.
Got my trains. It's very simple. All we do is push them through a white wall. The conveyor belt runs the opposite direction in an overlapping sector and pushes them to the other end. And as long as the white walls overhang where the other belt is, then it'll just loop forever. And then you don't have to turn corners. It uses less sectors and things don't drift off in the corners as they tend to do. Mostly as there are no corners, it never turns a corner. It only works with the speed set to powers of 2 though, so has some limits. It's how those work, and it's how that works. It's just a conveyor belt. It's how that train works, that whole area outside the train. That's what that was doing, it's just a bunch of conveyor belts. Yeah, the aliens are obviously like Japanese or something, because, oh god, they use squat type fucking shitters.
Much better.
Break it, there we go. Oh, the water's green. It probably is it's an alien planet, why wouldn't they have green water? But yeah, that ship's still firing, it just can't reach us. Ah, he's back in bounds. It's like shooting a caged animal. I'm reminded of Tomb Raider. Oh look, a hole in the ground with animals that can't possibly hurt us. Can't walk out there, but it is the area from over there. Now, really, you might as well just use the heavy weapons now. There's not really much of anything left to kill, there's just these guys. That's really all they've got left. Except that new beast we have, he's obviously stuck in the void somewhere. And that's the level. We're done here. That line cuts off, I don't know why. It didn't matter what I did. Oh, we're out of here. We're leaving this planet. We're never coming back. It's shit. It's horrible. Don't like it. That's the slowest playthrough of it I've ever done. Not much to show off the map on this one. Like in the sides, it's simple machines. This thing's a bit slow, but it'll get us back to Earth. Leveled up. combat heavy. Very linear. Well, that's because I knew what was coming next time. And I guess we'll see that soon. But I'm high treason. Thanks for watching. This is Alien Abductee for Duke Nukem 3D. If you want to play it, you will need an old build of EDuke from 2014 that might have problems in your operating system because, well, port devs aren't interested in fixing it. So, you know, if you have issues running it, forward complaints to them because it's now to do with me. I tested it. If it's not listed in my bugs list in the text file for the map, you know, probably is a port bug. Don't know. Depends what it is. There are ways you can break things, but I still fucking, yeah, just forward complaints to those people, not me. It's not my problem. Not anymore. So I'll see you next time.